Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Something Something podcast. And man, it feels like it's been weeks since we did one of these, huh? I think it has been weeks.
I know, man. It's like an eternity. I tell you what.
Yeah. And as usual, I'm Eric Kasloff, and with me, as always, is Larry Sands.
Hello, Eric.
Yep.
All right. Well, one thing that's going on, obviously, we've been kind of busy and stuff, and I promise people that are listening to this, we're going to have some more guests come on pretty quick. But we're just kind of getting back in the swing of things, We took a couple weeks off, and I'm here in Texas right now. I'm working. Yeah, so I'm working on a project.
Can you talk about it or no?
Sure. I'm doing some editing and doing some videographer work. Now this is like really videographer because he's got a reality show that's going on and shooting some stuff with that, and then actually doing a bit of writing, and we're putting some stuff together for social media. And I'm trying to, let me, because I know we're going to talk about this in a minute, but it kind of, that's why I'm here in Texas. And, he's trying to understand the whole social media thing and why it's good and why Facebook is good, but I tell him, Facebook's kind of going out, but it's Instagram now.
Well, I think Instagram to me is more to show people what's going on. Facebook is still where I connect with people on a more personal level.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They definitely have their differences, that's for sure. Facebook, for me, is like a bit more personal, unless you have like a professional Facebook page. But one of the things with Facebook is if you only have 2 followers, you can only reach 2 followers. And
yeah.
I think you can do hashtags, right, with Facebook?
Well, you can boast. You can pay to have your advertisements seen by people.
Yeah, and then hopefully they become your friends
or like your thing. Yeah, and I try to tell him Instagram is probably a little bit, although he's got, Facebook and stuff. We were talking about Instagram, and I was kind of giving him my version. I'm sure anybody else you talk to, hashtags and so I was trying to explain him the best way that I could without confusing him, although I think I did a pretty good job of confusing him. So did you use whenever I talk I use my hands?
I talk with my hands. I look like a magician when I'm talking.
I'm doing it right now over this.
We're doing some stuff that might come up. I actually posted a thing today on my Instagram about a character that I was playing and some promos that we're working on and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And for anybody who's listening to this, go to my Instagram. You can check it out, and it's Coach Chingon. But
hey,
so we're doing like a coach, yeah.
Speaking of people's Instagram, mine was blowing up last night, man. You want to know why?
Why?
I went to see Sir Paul McCartney in concert.
I am envious of you.
All right, so let me tell you how this all happened.
Yes.
Me and a bunch of my relatives, we live in Jersey. We're going to go into the city. Now, we were driving in a white van that didn't have that many seats in it, so someone had to sit in the very back of the van. Hello? Then there were all of us, and one person had the seat. You know the little milk crates? Yes.
We brought one of those, set it down, and someone sat on that while we were driving. So we...
God. Oh my God.
So this is just getting there. We get into the city and we gotta pass by Freedom Tower. Now, here's the thing. A lot of my relatives are very dark-skinned. Do not look like they're from this country. And we speak, at times, a different language. So I just go, guys, we cannot go anywhere near the Freedom Tower.
Oh my God.
So we get to the Barclays Center and, we had nosebleed seats. We get there and this lady sits us down. The concert's starting. I'll talk about concert stuff in a little bit. This is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this is the most conversational podcast you'll ever hear. We'll hit important stuff, but yeah. So now we are in the nosebleeds, but on the left side, so I could see the stage. The concert's starting. He starts off with Hard Day's Night. Everyone goes crazy. Here's a funny story, and he even mentioned this. Whenever a Beatles or Wings song would come on, well, not so much for Wings, but definitely the Beatles, everyone took out their phones, and even he said, I can tell when you like the songs. When it's a Beatles song, you pull out your cell phones. When it's a new song, none of you do anything. And in my mind, I was like, if it was possible, I would have, if he would have said, here's something off the new record, I would have shouted, no, nothing off the new record. Maybe 2 songs by Wings. Maybe I'm Amazed and Band on the Run. Other than that, Beatles stuff. No one cares about the new album.
That's it. Wait. He's got a new album?
Yeah. No, he does.
That's cool.
So they move us from our nosebleed but not that bad seats to really bad nosebleed seats. But still, in my mind, hey, I'm watching one of the Beatles. Less than 1% of the population can say that.
No doubt, dude.
Now, 2 of my uncles who were with us were kind of old. They're my mom's uncles, so put it my great uncle. But he's a huge Beatles fan. His sons go down and talk to security guards and help us get, they helped us out the way they talked to them. Maybe lied a little. So the security guard goes, I'm going to help you guys. So they make us leave. As soon as we're leaving, Paul McCartney starts playing Maybe I'm Amazed. So we caught a couple seconds of it. It's on my Instagram. Then they bring us to an elevator, put us all in. We all start saying in our language, we're going to jail. We are going to jail right now. So they take us out. We're on the 2nd floor, and they put us in what's called the Honda Club. It is this small little area with tables, a huge bar stool facing the thing, no bartender behind it, but a place where you could sit and eat pretty much high up. You got the picture? So we are dead center, maybe 100 to 200 feet away. Well, you've seen the pictures, so amazing view, and and the second we got in is when he started playing the awesome stuff, except for the one song off the new record.
Nice. So everybody that's listening to this right now, you have to go to Instagram, and it's at Eric Kasloff, obviously.
Link in the profile.
Yeah.
So
you've got to start looking through his pictures. It's freaking awesome.
Now here's where things get a little crazy. This guy is in his late 70s, And dude, the only time he sat down is when he was playing the piano. And even then, he's not just like playing, he's moving around and all of that. And he had 2 pianos on stage. I guess one was like the rockin' out piano, the other was more the just cool playing the piano right now. He was telling these stories, man. If it would have been just listening to him tell stories for 3 hours, because by the way, no opening act.
That's how you know you're good.
I mean, he could have just been him telling stories for 3 hours. In the middle of one song, the song ends, and then he just plays Foxy Lady on the guitar. The last song he did was Hey Jude, brought the house down. Gets up, walks off stage. Some people think the concert's over. Maybe 5 minutes go by and him and his band come back on stage waving flags. Then he goes into Yesterday. And I'm like, okay, you know what? If this is how he's going to end it, not bad. Then he did 4 more songs. Then finally ends the show. We all left and having the greatest mood ever, dude. I mean, I know this is hard, like, not everybody could financially do it, but the seats we started off with were like $50 a pop.
Yeah.
So even if you have to go into the nosebleed seats, it's still worth it, dude. I mean, it's the crazy thing where there were families there. There were like little kids rocking along to like classic Beatles songs, and that's just the thing about their music. I will say this, they are not the best musicians ever. No one would argue that.
No.
But it was just something about them together. The simplicity of it all is what made them great.
Yeah. As you talk, I mean, I've been listening a lot with like iHeartRadio with the Beatles and stuff, and and even Wings and stuff, and like Band on the Run, him and John Lennon, obviously, they both refer to their time in the Beatles in such a creative way, and it's just like, wow. And I love it. I love it. I mean, and just to hear you talk about it is like so cool. What did he end the show with?
Boy, you gotta carry that weight. The one really long song where it's like 4 songs in one? Mm-hmm. That was what he ended it with.
Oh, really? So he just kind of threw them all?
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam. And then thank you, good night. That's awesome, dude. Oh, my God.
The Hey Jude was one of the coolest because he had us sing along. Obla Di, Obla Da was awesome. Man. There's that one song on the Sgt. Pepper record where it's 2 songs in one, where it's like weird stuff. Then near the end, it's like the guy's talking about going through his day. Woke up, ran a comb across my hair.
Oh, yeah. Wake up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Downstairs and drink. Yes.
And
Yes.
And it was weird because just a few days ago, I was talking with someone about the song Mr. Blue Sky and how that song reminds me of that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that, it starts out, is that the one that starts out with Lennon going, I read the news today?
Yeah.
Yeah, A Day in the Life.
That's it. That's what it's called. Yeah. It's like, that's really 2 songs that they fit into one, because I guess they couldn't end either.
Wow.
Because, well, really, when we're done, me and you will listen to it separately. The songs do not connect at all.
No, it just kind of like
ooh, and then bump, 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 bump. Yeah, no, it does not end at all. No, it's just a continuation. But, man, I guess when you put that in, like, filmmaking terms, and just a creative spark, and to be able to do that.
Totally.
It's just, it's four guys in a room. They probably, after the first record, they probably all hate each other's guts. But they're like, you know what, let's make a bunch of money. And you know what, let's just do it. And it's like, but, and, you don't think about it, but that's like the original boy band.
Well, till when they put Rubber Soul out is, I think, when people started to take them seriously.
Yeah.
Because if you look through their discography, it was just singles. But after Rubber Soul, it became, you got a Beatles record, you're going to listen to the first to last song on it.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite Beatles record?
Dude, I don't know. Because, really, I just started to get into the Beatles. No joke. And even like the Who, because I like Queen and stuff, but I just really started getting into it. And now they have Amazon Music where you can actually, if you have the subscription, this is probably like Apple Music too, where you can listen to all their albums.
Yeah, I've got Spotify.
Yeah. See, man, I don't even. Yeah, it's weird because everybody's like, oh man, social media is the thing now and all this, and I'm kind of like, yeah, okay. And I don't even I don't know, I don't do Twitter much. I guess I should do more. I do Instagram more than anything, but I guess my point is.
Wow, talk about a segue, Sam.
Yeah, I know, but the point is I'm just too busy, I guess. I turn on, every time I work, I turn on, my phone, listen to iHeartRadio, and I got, a couple of music apps, but I don't really have any, I don't subscribe to anything too much. But yeah, it's just weird. It's so weird, man, because if you're not, on social media, or if you're not in on the things, people are like, wow, you're kind of weird. But, actually, what I would like to talk about is The Haunting.
Yeah, I was going to ring us into that. So,
yes.
One thing, if somebody was to ask you, what's Eric Hasselhoff like other than movies, you would say wrestling, probably, right?
Yes.
If somebody was to ask me, hey, Eric, what is Larry really interested in besides making movies? I would say cryptozoology. And then when they say, what's cryptozoology? I would take 30 minutes explaining it to them. And if they said, okay, besides cryptozoology, what else is Larry into besides making movies? I would tell them origami. And then after about an hour of them asking me stuff about you other than movies, I would go, I don't know, the guy kind of likes ghost hunting shows.
Oh God! Actually, just real quick, because you mentioned wrestling, I was stalking you on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
Bobby Heenan.
Wow, I was gonna talk about that later. I didn't want to step over your thing.
Man.
Oh
no. Yeah, no, because it reminded me, because I was scrolling through your pics and I saw Bobby Heenan and I was like, oh, that's right. Bobby the Brain Heenan, man.
Dude, he got so sick from throat cancer. It looked awful how bad he was.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Google it right now. Bobby Heenan.
Too now. But that's what he died of?
Yeah. And it was a long battle.
Really? How long
had he had it?
Over 10 years.
Oh, wow. Wow, and it just slowly deteriorated. Man, I tell you, this is going to be a crazy episode. We go from the Beatles to Bobby Keaton to Ghost Story.
Yeah, well, after, I heard he died, this is going to sound really weird, but in the 80s, the WWF at the time put out a wrestling album.
Yeah.
It was the guy's entrance music, but then there were some awesome songs. Like, remember Jimmy Hart, The Mouth of the South?
Oh, yeah.
He was in the Daltries. The classic rock band? Yeah, and he wrote a song on it called Eat Your Heart Out, Rick Springfield, which is an awesome pop song. But then Hillbilly Jim put out this country song on the album called Waking Up Alone. And man, it is just a heartbreaking song about a professional wrestler being out on the road all the time and not with the people he loves. And the second it happened, a little while later, I, reposted that song on Twitter, dedicating it to his family. I mean, dude, if you were to listen to this, you would think that like a legit country singer wrote it.
Really?
We'll listen to it after the show. I don't want to get a copyright strike.
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, we don't got that many views, so maybe we could get a... No, we couldn't.
This would be the one when it sparked the thing, and they'd come after us.
But now let's focus on The Haunting. I've been wanting to talk about it.
Well, it really started because obviously, like, we're always talking about doing stuff, and you're always writing stuff, and I'm always asking you to write stuff. And then, I go to
and
watch
that usually ends with me throwing a bottle of Jack at his head going, I can't feel the magic anymore. How I'm able to throw a bottle of Jack at your head from 3,000 miles away?
But here's the thing. I still duck. I still duck and move. I still duck and roll.
Wait, I just got this whole vision of me. I get a hotel room, you coming out. You gotta start writing again, Eric. The show needs you. And I just pick up the bottle, and then I can't feel the laughter anymore.
Oh, man. You think that's funny, but more oftentimes than not, there's somebody in a hotel room, a down-and-out writer, a writing team, going to be listening to this, and they're going to be even more down and out and go, you know what, that's you. They go, no, that's you. So.
And the one thing me and you know about is cheap hotel rooms on Hollywood Boulevard. Don't ask why.
Oh my God.
No, but really, dude, you are really into all those ghost hunting shows. I mean, even when Megan was a little girl, I remember her digging them with you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, man. I tell you, we would sit there and we would watch, like Ghost Adventures and stuff. After a while, Ghost Hunters became, okay. But Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel. And so I always thought, it would be so freaky, to try to do something, or not freaky, but really challenging in a way to, see if I could pull off like all that stuff. And so I did.
Have you ever done real ghost hunting?
Yes, one time.
All right, you got to talk about it.
Okay, so here's the deal. So we, just a couple years ago, and a group of us really had gotten together after work, and we went over to this.
Where were you working at the time?
Universal.
Okay, so long time ago.
Yeah. But it'll never leave me. It's so freaky, dude. Because he was like, I've got this. My place
place is haunted. We're like, oh, okay, great. Oh, yeah, we should go and go ghost hunting, blah, blah, blah. Oh, gosh, yeah. So we all go. There was
Thinking the guy's joking, right? Like he's overreacting.
And I mean, like, oh, gosh, whatever. And so, we took a camera. I took my little camera. I think it had even night vision on it. One of those older tape, whatever. So we get over there and we're like, oh, okay, great. So we turn on the camera and he takes us to like different places in the house, like specifically in the kitchen, more specifically. So we were kind of standing there and I had the camera and I was like, oh, do you feel anything? And talking to one of my friends, and she was like, no, not really. And then right above her head was like, pots hanging, pots and pans, and they just started moving ever so slightly.
Wow.
And it was, and it was like, wait a minute, don't move. And she's like, what? And I was like, there's no wind, right? There's nothing around. She goes, and she like, you can tell she was trying to find the wind. But she goes, no. I go, well, and she saw me kind of look up at the things, and she kind of looked up and went, okay. She kind of stepped away, and they stopped. And
wow.
When she went back under there, she started talking again, and they started moving just a little bit, man, And it was like the strangest freaking thing. And so we were like, oh my God, what is going on? And then another girl, like she was sitting over by a door in like a little, like in chairs. And we were just talking, I had the camera on her, and this a different girl. And then all of a sudden, the door behind her kind of just opened a little bit. I was like, wait a minute, this is nuts. This is crazy. And I don't remember. We went into the living room. We went to go play back. So we plugged it in with the RCA cables, and we were watching it, and it was moving, and the door would open. And then all of a sudden, we were all in the living room. There were maybe 2, 4, 6, maybe 7 of us sitting there, watching the TV, and a light went by. And it's like a light that would be like from a car. If he was on the end of the street and the car lights went up, he wasn't on the end of the street.
Whoa.
He was like, like cars wouldn't be coming at his house because it ran parallel with the road, right? So there would be nobody where their car lights would be going. We were like, what was that? Oh my God. And everybody started freaking out. He goes, okay, but let's go to my room, like his room. And so we're already kind of like, okay, and knowing, well, okay, no, I should finish. So, knowing that, like all this freaky stuff is happening, we all...
Now, were you enjoying it in a way, or were you scared?
Both. I was scared, but I was like, oh my God, let's go do this. In a I don't want to do this kind of way, right? And
so were you kind of like, remember that scene in Young Frankenstein? It was a joke. Can't you people take a joke?
Oh my God, yes. Yes, and see now this, I'm telling you, dude, this is the only time so we get in there, we turn off the lights, everybody's on his bed, I'm down by the bed, sitting on the floor, Mitzi's right beside me, my wife.
You brought your wife to this?
Oh yeah. Oh dude, she loves it.
Okay.
So
where was Megan?
So we're sitting there. I think she was staying at a friend's house.
Oh, okay.
Texas or somebody. Yeah. So Megan was at her friend's. We were over there, and we're in like his bedroom. The lights are off, and we sit there just in the dark, right? And all of a sudden, then we're all huddled in a corner. And then all of a sudden, we hear something drop on the floor. like a drumstick. It was a drumstick.
Like a drummer drumstick, or like
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, not like food.
Okay. I know. I wasn't being silly. I was asking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't being silly.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But no, and it dropped. He had. So we were looking around, and everything we were like, okay, that's there. We were kind of half looking around because, who knows if he's joking or what.
Yeah.
After that, we're like, whatever. But the drumstick was sitting on, like, the edge, like, of a windowsill, and it fell off. And it was like, it fell, and it was, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. And so all of a sudden, I go ahead, I go, okay, I want to turn my camera on. I turn it on green, and I'm looking, and in one corner, it's like a little alcove, it's his desk. And that's where the drumstick fell from the little window ledge. And he had his chair there, and I was half expecting the chair to move. Really, I was like, oh my God. And we were all quiet, and I would pan the room. So in one corner, like, would be the alcove, and as I moved the camera across, there's like the corner, and then the door, and there's stuff. There's like a piano, like a keyboard up against the wall, and I don't know. I know that there's another keyboard that was standing up, like propped up against the wall.
Okay.
And I was like, kind of like looking around, and I can't remember. I cannot remember if somebody said something, but I had the camera pointed right at the door, and the camera was just hanging right at the door, and at that moment, the keyboard that was propped up against the wall, up against the door, I kid you not, it moved 3 times. It went one way, and
wow.
And I saw it.
Did you film it?
I think I still have the footage. Yes.
You gotta get that to us, dude.
Yes, I will. And now that I think about it, I think I know where it is, so I have to look for it. But Eric, I kid you not, I was like, oh my God. And they go, what? I said, this moved. I can't remember if everybody was looking in like the little tiny screen, but the moment I saw that, I jumped up. He turned on like the light. I closed my camera. I turned it off, and we had brought a rosary that one of my buddies had given us. And I looked him in the eye. I said, oh man, this gave me chills. I said, you need this more than I do. And I said, whoever's here in this house, in the name of Jesus Christ, be gone. I call in the name of Jesus, be gone.
And then you were just like, peace out, I'm out of here?
I was. I was like, dude, we're leaving. I was like, we're leaving. We are leaving. So yeah, I was like, done. So yeah, I couldn't be bothered sticking around. So yeah.
Dude, you need to watch the movie Grave Encounters. You'll love it.
Grave Encounters?
Yeah, it's like it starts off with this producer saying, these guys wanted to do a reality show. They gave us 6 episodes. And they said, we just need a 7th episode. So the whole thing is this film crew for one of those ghost hunter shows goes to this place. And, you see them setting up everything and, basically admitting that it's all fake. Like their psychic guy admits that it's all, he's acting all normal off camera, then all kooky on camera, but then the place is like really haunted. Now the crazy thing about the sequel, it's all found footage, by the way. The sequel plays off the whole thing that the first one was real. And they just told everybody it was fake for the movie. So, like, problems people had with the movie, like, the ghost in the first one looked fake. The producer in the second one was, we made those ghosts look fake so it won't look as scary as it really was. So, but back to you, was ghost hunting always something you dug, like, as a kid? Because I know you're afraid of horror movies, but you want to be a ghost hunter.
I know, man. It's, it is weird. It is weird because I can't sit through a horror movie, but I'll make one. I'll cut people's legs off and I'll do a bloodbath and I'll try to scare people and, but...
Yeah, didn't you work Halloween Horror Nights?
Yeah, several times. Yep. And we did recycle parts. We cut people's body parts up and everything. But yeah, no. Like, what movie did I go see recently? Oh gosh, it was
Annabelle. You were telling me about.
Yes. I sit there and I'm doing it right now. I cover my face and I leave like a little peek hole through my fingers so I can look and see. And Megan, she doesn't like going to the movies with me because I scream and everything.
Would you like to tell the audience what I called you on speakerphone as you were driving home from the theater with your wife and child?
Tell them.
I was like, you're Megan, your dad's a wuss. I was like, Mitzi, your husband's a total coward.
I tell you, man. And but see, that goes the same with like the ghost hunting and the ghost hunter. See, I don't know. I mean, the ghost hunting thing is different than a horror movie, but it's kind of probably not because you're still waiting for that scare.
Well, what do you think about all those shows, honestly?
I think it's really easy to fake. I think it's super, super easy to fake. Is it? I don't know if because the mind can play tricks on you, right?
Yeah.
And you can hear things that aren't there, but if you capture them on, there's no telling, where those little noises come from. But that's the thing is when they have like all like the heat detecting, like those, all that equipment and stuff. I mean, that kind of leaves no room for skepticism.
Yeah, but editing, come on, you just did something where you did all of that.
Oh, easy.
And that's the segue.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us about your secret project you've been working on.
Well, hopefully, I've got a trailer up on Instagram right now, and
an awesome one, by the way.
Thank you very much. And I want to put it out hopefully within the next couple weeks. Maybe even by the time this comes out, it'll be up and out. But want to try to do a little promotion, and that's where the Instagram thing comes in, social media. But since I've been up here or down here in Texas, rather, it's taking a little bit more time. But again, Eric, we always talk about on our podcast, and this is what we've always based everything on, is being an independent filmmaker. You have to be able to juggle your work life, your real work life, your creative independent filmmaking life, if you have a family, so you've got to really try hard. And this is a time when you stay up late and you get one thing done, you do another thing. So hopefully it'll and what I want to do, and this is what you and I have talked about, is we're going to be putting it up on our YouTube YouTube page, something Films YouTube page. So just be watching Instagram and and Twitter and all that. But really, what I am wanting to do and have talked to you obviously about is try to do like a series, like a running.
Well, tell everybody what it's about, to get them interested.
Well, it really, you follow Sean McKay and John Ball. And Sean McKay is the host. It's really, really similar to another ghost hunting show out there that I'll let people kind of decide. But it's super, super simple. And this is like my real foray in, because I wrote this too. To see, I guess it's to see if I could do it. Because, we had guests on a couple months ago, and they were like, we really try to just do new things in our films, in our short films, whether it's blood or like motion graphics or effects and this and that and the other thing. And, I got to thinking, I'm like, yeah, that is like the best training ground that you could ever do, is just experiment. You write your story, and, if you want to use blood, if you want to use special effects, just go do it. And let it be what it will be. And that's kind of like what I did with The Haunting. And it's simple, and it was just me and Devin Garcia Walker. He's John Baugh, and he's the cameraman. So it's me and my cameraman, and this particular story is about a house that's haunted. And so we just show up and we really go see if it's haunted. So but it really, I'm trying to set it up, or would like to set it up as like an ongoing series, whether you follow Sean McKay, which is the host.
Played by
me.
Okay.
Played by me, of course. Yeah. So, and actually the next one we have written, thanks to you. And so as soon as I get back to LA, I've got a girl in mind that I want to play the title character. Really,
is it Lindsay Lohan?
I wasn't gonna say anything, but she turned me down.
She'll never turn me down.
See, I tried to tell her that, and she clicked on me. I go, "Hi, this is Larry," and she clicked off. So I don't know. I should have opened up. "Hi, my name's Eric Kaslow." She goes, "Yes." What would you like? What would you like for me to do? I'll do anything in a movie for you. But I never got that far.
See, I'm not joking. I really want to work with her.
Well, I'm telling you right now. When you work with her, I will be right there with you, working with her too.
All right.
I'll be your assistant. I'll be your camera person. I'll be your boom holder. I'll be your human boom pole.
But no, I'm really excited about this. Again, when you sent me the first cut, I loved it, and this is the great thing about what we do. I can tell you, Larry, I think it's great. Here's the problems.
Yeah.
No other. I mean, you can't be like a heart surgeon. Do heart surgery, then go, "Okay, guys, we need to do that one more time." And then afterward, the person's done with it. "Hey, listen, we're going to have to go back in and do this. Just some pickups, nothing major. We just gotta make it perfect."
Right. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Real quick, could you change that? What? Actually put the heart back in? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! You should do a skit. I'll write it. If others, professions were like filmmaking.
Oh my God, do it! That's the thing. That's we have our channel. And I just, and really that's the whole point to everything that I do. It's not just to do it. It's actually to do it and to push myself to find out who I am as a creative filmmaker, to see if I can actually do it. And as an independent, I mean, there was only 2 of us on this particular, the episode, and I'm sure there's going to be only 2 or 3 on our next episode that we do. So, but I think it shows my creativity and the way that I edit.
Totally, yeah.
And it brought out everything that I wanted to do, no matter how simple or how complex.
And I don't want to give too much away. It really does feel like one of those shows. It's like you're one of those shows, but then there are obviously parts in it where you're poking fun at those shows.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing too. I mean, it could totally go a different way, like making fun of them and like all that stuff, and maybe I will, But see, that's the thing, like, well, I don't know. I mean, I was gonna say comedy is the most easiest thing, but I wanted. And, actually, I've been thinking about a lot, too, about, like, doing the horror stuff, or this particular thing, because I was like, man, I wonder what if, and I guess that's how everything starts. What if, but yeah, I mean, even doing like a, what is it, like, not a mockumentary, but,
a found footage movie?
Yeah. See, that would be, and see, you were asking me about that too, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that, or not this particular one. And so, but yeah, I see. The thing with me is, and we've always said, oh no, we should just write it, and it's really hard. I mean, it's really hard to sit down and write and make things make sense, and put it down in script form. I mean, it's really hard, so I got to give it to you, Eric. I got to give it to you,
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we should actually get together and do like the collaboration just between me and you, and come up with a 5-minute thing.
Okay.
And shoot, I think that would be perfect, man.
We would just need to find a way to get you here or me there.
Dude, that would be...
It would be more getting you here, because I really hate Los Angeles. There's like 3, not counting you, 3 other people there I'd want to see.
Really?
Well, you, Mitzi, Rebecca Carr, my buddy Robert, and Ray. Other than that, no one I'd really want to see, unless I'm, going for a meeting or something.
Yeah. Well, I tell you this right now, man. I'm always down to trying to come out there. So
that's why I'm still saying you should convince Mitzi to move out here. And when she asks why, so I can hang out with Eric.
Yeah. He says, well, what else are you gonna do? What else is there to do? But I think once we get it out, everybody just follow our Instagrams and stuff, and just kind of keep up with us, because we got some cool stuff. But just like everything else, it takes time. Fine wine takes time.
Yes, it does.
And so does cheese, but that starts to smell after a while.
Hey, I just had an amazing turkey and cheese sandwich with guacamole. Man, was it good. I had that Munster cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that stuff's good.
That's pretty. And, every time I see pastrami, every time I have pastrami, Eric.
You think of me?
I think, and tasty cakes.
Well, they don't have those in LA unless you go to like a Philly cheesesteak place.
Oh, I see them a little bit.
Really?
I see them. They got them. They have them in Walmart now. But
really?
Not a lot. It's not a lot. Like the Devil's.
Well, Devil Dogs aren't tasty cakes. Those are Drake's cakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not tasty cakes.
Really?
Yeah.
See, no wonder I don't see them. But the tasty cakes, I see those, or at least like one tasty cake that they have, and I'm like, oh, Eric.
Well,
but now, man, it's all good.
we went a little everywhere this episode. You wanna close us off?
Yeah, man. I don't know how you want us to how you want me to close this off. But,
You know what? Here.
What?
I was just gonna, hit stop.
Oh.
Should we do that?
Yes. Okay, everybody, thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Larry Sands and Eric Kasloff, and Twitter. And if you still have a Facebook, we're on Facebook.
Yeah, but don't friend us, because we only want our friends on Facebook. I mean, and family. Twitter and Instagram is where the fun stuff we post is. Like, I know we're going long. Have you seen that picture where it's the two girls at a wedding, and like one of them is like what we post on Facebook, they're all proper and everything, and then the other picture is what we post on Instagram, and they're like acting all wild, slapping each other's butt and everything?
No.
I'll find it and send it to you.
Oh my God, that is so true.
And with that, everybody,
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
And thank you.